VoxWave now features a streaming radio media player on our website's front page, where local artists can get their music played 24/7. For more information on getting your music in rotation or to perform live at our studio, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
Android users, the VoxWave app is now available in the Google Play Store. Download the app today on your Android device to listen in and view programs.
Business owners looking for a place to advertise your business and promote your products and services? VoxWave is the right place. We have over 10,000 views a day and 70,000 listeners a month. For more information, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
The world's #1 streaming music station, VoxWave.com.
We have your favorite shows on VoxWave.com. Check out our lineup. The Kim Show, Mondays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. In the End We Win with Curtis, Mondays, 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Cooking with Flavors with your host, Chef Flavors, Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Slick Daddy Rick, Heartbeat Congo Hour, Tuesday, 8 to 10 p.m. Impact the World Radio TV Show with Cheryl Woods, Wednesday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. The Digital Digest with your host, Digital Ace, Wednesdays, 3 to 5 p.m. Live Set Wednesdays with your host, Frank Dent, Wednesdays, 8 to 9 p.m. The BGKH Show with your hosts, Dominion and Epic, Wednesdays, 9:15 to 10:15 p.m. You, Math, and Me with George Randall, Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Then, on Thursdays at 5:30 p.m., The Prayer, Praise, and Deliverance with Elder Thurman Gorman Jr., The 640 Evening Show, Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The Peace in the Morning Show with your host, Darius A. Stanton, co-host, Delicate Daryl Barnes, and Queen Ayakidobi, Fridays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Hall Street Journal with your host, Robert Hall, and co-host Clarence Sanders, Fridays, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Frank, The Success Principles, Friday, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Chanel's 3 Cents, Friday, 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. The Daryl Allen Harrison II Crime Victims Foundation Show, hosted by Daryl Harrison II, every Friday from 3 to 4:30 p.m. The Rush Hour with DJ Drew and Janique, every Friday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Different Minds Show, hosted by DJ Bam 640 and DJ Andre Michael, and your co-host, MC Fran, every Friday, 9:15 p.m. to 11:15 p.m. The Healer Blues Show, with host Ron Jackson, every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Hour of Power, with your host, Reverend Winters Rogers, every Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And again, the Prayer, Praise, and Deliverance with Elder Thurman Gorman Jr., Saturday, 11 p.m. to 12 p.m. And don't forget Four Sisters Live Talk, Saturday at 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. Turning dreams into reality talk show with your host, Tashika L. Green, every second Saturday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Walk in Newness 24/7 with Missionary Antoinette, Saturdays, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. News, ULM, news and analysis, information, sports, and black history. With your news anchor, Roderick Carter Willis, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Step your game up with the Youth Project, hosted by DJ Main and DJ Low Hefe, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And don't miss The To Go Show with Kim Brown, Saturdays 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. I Am Dr. Sharon Show, each Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., featuring The Grind, Entrepreneur Network Spotlight, and Write the Book Now. The Riri Williams Show, Fashion and Style Hour, every first Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. Real Talk 101, Sundays 6 to 8 p.m. And every third Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m., the Third Sunday Tea Talk Show with Dr. Akita Pearson. Gospel Live TV Show with host Gloria Mello, each Sunday from 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Listen to all your favorite shows on VoxWave.com.
VoxWave.com. VoxWave.com, streaming your favorite jazz, blues, and R&B 24/7.
Welcome back to the show. How is everyone? I missed you guys last week, 2 weeks last week, yes. But thanks for tuning in. Tonight is going to be another fantastic show, and I am super excited. I've got a great guest, and she brought food. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we've got food. But what's going to happen right now is I'm going to introduce my guest. We are talking about women and women in power, bosses. And I've seen a shift in our society where women are taking on these roles now, and men are more and more, or increasingly, staying home and minding house while the women are out and working. So tonight, I'd like to introduce to you all Chandra Colvin. Hello.
Hi.
I got it right?
You did.
Wonderful. Gotcha. So, say hello.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me tonight.
So, Chandra Colvin is our guest tonight, and Chandra is a mother of three.
That's right.
A wife.
Yes.
A CEO.
Yes.
A business owner.
That's correct.
And a community, I'm not going to say activist, but very involved in the community. Supporter.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Yes, absolutely.
So, our conversation, as you heard the intro, I want to know if this shift that I'm seeing, is it accurate? Am I accurate to say that women are moving into some of these historically male-dominated roles?
I think that's definitely true. There's a lot of women, especially women of color, that are now taking on these CEO roles and entrepreneur-type businesses, which is great. So they're capable, they're able, and willing to take on the task and doing a great job at it.
Yes. Let me ask you this. Is that something that was just in your DNA? Was this a culture in your household, or was this just something that you had inspired to be as you were growing up? And this meaning so busy and active in all of these various areas.
I don't think I started out that way. I'm a military brat.
Oh, okay.
So I lived all over. And my father very strong in making sure that education came first for my brother and I. But as a social worker, which is what I started out as, it was important for me to be able to work with people who couldn't help themselves.
Okay.
And I just kind of worked myself up that ladder
Right.
and proved that with integrity, with great morals and values,
Wonderful.
then you can do what you're supposed to do, and people will respect that
Amen.
and make it happen.
Wonderful. And integrity and values are super important, especially today. But here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to get you all involved. If you're interested in calling in and you'd like to ask a question, please give us a call at 240-719-2560. Again, that is 240-719-2560. Please call in if you have any questions, if you have any comments, or you have some concerns, or if you just would like to join the conversation, I encourage you to give us a call. Do us a favor, though. However you are watching the show, please turn down that device and listen strictly to your phone, and then you will be patched right into our conversation. Okay? Great. So, you mentioned that it was just something that you grew into. And you're a military brat, so would you, or child rather, is there a military kid? I apologize. What do you think that something came from that military lifestyle of that work ethic that goes into being a part of a military branch?
I think watching my parents, who had a very strong work ethic, made a difference. So that was definitely helpful in deciding, but I don't know if it was anything that I worked towards initially.
Sure.
It was something that I don't know if I initially had the confidence or if it was something that I was ready for.
Okay.
But as I continued in my career and people started seeking me out for services and advice, then I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I can do this.
Gotcha.
And we just continued to grow and do great things and provided great care. And that was both in the mental health perspective and the business world as well.
Mental health, and that's a huge topic right now. Wow. Looks like we've got a caller. Good evening. Caller.
Hello.
Hi. You're on with Curtis. How are you?
Hi. I'm fine, thank you. Enjoying your show.
Thanks.
Although it just started, I'm looking forward to the remainder of it. So I have a question.
Yes.
For your guest, given the huge responsibilities that you shoulder as a CEO, a mom, a wife, and supporter, how do you find the balance needed to be successful in all those areas, or is that even possible?
Great question.
Touché.
Great question. I don't believe that there's a such thing as a work-life balance. I think that in life, things happen. So you have to go with the surge. You have to deal with life as it comes. You can't schedule everything. So it's ebb and flow. It goes up and down, and you just got to be ready to take on that mission. So it may be you're in a business meeting, and as a mother, I get a phone call from the school that my child is sick, and then trying to figure that out. It wasn't something that I planned for that day, or I get a call from my store that we're out of one of the products, and I have to make that happen. So just knowing that life is going to always take over and take place, and not stressing myself out over it, then it kind of makes it a little bit easier to work out. You know, you plan, you kind of schedule as much as you possibly can, but there's just so many things that you cannot, and you just make it happen when it does.
Sure. So, caller, let me ask: do you find that you are busy during the week? Caller,
let me ask.
Okay, caller. Well, thank you for your phone call. Please give us a call back if you have any other questions. Okay. Great question. And what I was going to ask, actually, I was just going to kind of segue into what we're going to talk about the second half of the show. Just let her know to keep watching the show, because we're going to have something for her to help her in her busyness. So, but now, what exactly? So our viewers will know, what exactly is your role as a CEO? What industry are you in? And
I'm a clinical psychologist. I run a mental health practice in the district, and I am responsible for 50 plus employees who are servicing clients that have mental health issues, from everything from depression to suicidal ideation to bipolar to schizophrenia. So we really run a tight organization that is trying to help them, get back on their feet.
Sure. We have someone else on the line. Good evening, caller. You're on the line with Curtis. Good evening. Thanks. So, so you're a clinical psychologist. And if that's not stress enough because you're taking on other people's issues and concerns and just problems, if you will, and then you still have to manage your own
My own life.
life.
Yes.
How do you do that?
God.
Yes. Heavy doses?
Conversations every day, all day.
Oh yeah? Is it that easy?
It sometimes, not always, but still having a strong network of people that you can talk to. Have a great partner that he and I can communicate and talk about a little bit of everything.
Good.
So if I'm having a stressful day at work, I can text him throughout the day, and he'll say something silly to make me laugh and help me get through it. And we can kind of just bounce, different ideas off of each other.
Sure.
And seriously, it's just having conversations with God. I'll say, hey, God, you got jokes, really today.
Right. That's a relationship. Because I don't know that a lot of folks know that they can talk to God like that, right? But, that's what he says. Hey, be you. Be
me.
Right.
Be me.
That's wonderful. So this whole concept and this whole idea of women just kind of taking charge and moving into new roles in our society, how do you feel about that? Do you think that we're ready for a female president?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Why so? You biased because you're a female?
No, because let's think about it. For many, many years, the women have been there supporting the men and doing a lot of things from behind the scenes.
Sure.
To make it happen. So we do have the intelligence, the smarts, and the capability to not only run our household or a business, we can do a country too.
Oh,
absolutely. You don't think so?
I do.
Okay.
I am outnumbered today. You think I'm going to say no?
Absolutely.
That's a great answer. That's great. So what else do you do? Now, you mentioned that we talked a little bit about you being a CEO and clinical psychologist.
Yes.
What else?
Well, besides taking care of my own family, I also own a business called Dream Dinners in Silver Spring. So we are meal assembly. We're probably been around for over 15 years. One of the only meal assembly brick and mortars that may be still standing today or actually doing very well. So there's been a shift over the years with the mail order delivery kit that's sent to the homes.
Sure.
Our customers can actually come into the store and be the chef, put on the apron, and make their meals themselves and season it to their taste.
Wonderful. And we're going to get into that a little deeper on the other side of the break. But when it comes to running a business, was that something that was always in your plan?
Not that, absolutely. I was a customer before I brought that store, and I had no idea, no plan, no desire to become the business owner. But the employees reached out to me and said, Dr. C, I know that the owner is about to sell this store. If anybody purchases it, we want it to be you.
Oh, wow.
And I really had to think about it, pray on it. And the summer had gone by, and it just kept coming up. And so when I finally made a decision, it just happened so rapidly.
Oh,
like
wow.
It was always meant to be.
So you were a regular customer?
I was a regular customer.
That meant your life was that
family.
busy to where
Yes.
you needed someone else to
Yes.
prepare the meals, so to speak, for you.
Well, no, I prepared it. Yeah, so I still went into the store and put it together and seasoned it to my family's taste. But what was great about it is I didn't have to do all the dicing, chopping, and slicing or the grocery shopping. So it just helped make my life a little bit easier.
Sure. And like I say, we'll talk a little bit more about that on the other side of the break. But that's a good kind of intro to keep people guessing as to what exactly. So going back to, you mentioned that you have a brother.
Yes. I have a little brother who thinks he's the big brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how is that, being so busy? How then do you manage being a brother, being a wife, being a mom, and doing all of this good stuff. And you talked a little bit, and a sister, right? And you talked a little bit about being in a meeting and then getting a phone call or getting a text about your child. How does that dynamic play into your everyday?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I lost my father back in 2016, and my mother
it's not that long ago.
Is now living with us.
Condolences.
Yeah, thank you. And, you know, my brother and I just have to tag team and, you know, support each other in taking care of my mother, who will actually, I shouldn't say take care of, because she can take care of herself. But just supporting each other. We don't get to see each other as much as we like to because our lives are very busy.
Sure.
And, you know, he's got things going on. But knowing that he's there, you know, is also helpful.
It's good,
and I can pick up the phone or, like I said, send him a text message. And in the midnight hour, I know he's got my back just like I have his.
Great. So let me ask, does this hard work come from a desire to be wealthy, or is it a mindset?
Gosh. I think I've always wanted to be comfortable. I wanted to make sure that my family was taken care of.
Define comfortable for us.
Comfortable meaning that I don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. My bills are taken care of. If and when I want to do something, I can do it. If and when I want to go somewhere, I can do it. Now, being wealthy, that would be great. You know, I'm not going to knock that or block that blessing if it comes my way.
Absolutely. Don't put them in a box,
no, right? But it was more of that. So to see if I can do it, you know, and prove it to myself before I prove anything to anybody else. But, you know, I think it's more, can I do this? You know, if there's a will, there's a way. I've always lived by that motto.
Okay. So do you believe that there has to be a certain mindset for an individual, and not making this a gender question, but just a certain mindset for individuals who take on so much responsibility and still maintain?
I think so, and reason being is you have to make sure that you have a strong foundation. You have people that you can connect with that can support you along the way.
Sure.
Realize that you're only as good as your team, so you don't have to do everything by yourself. It's okay to ask for help, that you are a go-getter. You can make independent decisions and be okay if you make a mistake. You know,
right.
and being a professional, to admit that and say, you know what, I messed up on this one, but I've learned from it. And so now let me figure out, how can I make this right? How can I do it better the next time?
Sure. So you mentioned team. Have you ever played sports?
I did.
You did? What sport was that?
Volleyball, basketball, and softball.
Volleyball, basketball, and softball. Yeah. Okay. I got you. Did you attend college? Did you play in college or high school?
I played in high school.
Okay.
No, I didn't do it in college.
I got you. Okay. All right. So then now perhaps here is where that team concept comes from?
Absolutely. My father was the coach for probably all the teams that I played for, so that was instilled in me, and he made me work harder than everybody else. When I was tired and I wanted to sit out, he made me do extra.
Sure.
But yeah, and I'm trying to instill that in my kids. My son is 17, he's 6'4".
Oh, wow.
So, you know, he has a desire to take it all the way and do whatever it is that is going to get him to the next level. And we push probably more than we need to, but, you know, we want to make sure that, you know, if you're saying you want to do this, it's not just about you, it's about the team.
Those are conversations that I've had in my household for many a year. Our son is a rising senior at Morehouse, and he plays basketball, and he started when he was 4. And from then until today, I have been on him. So that being said, how important do you believe that sports are to the youth?
I think it's very important because you're talking about learning how to be a part of a team. You're not independent. You want to work your best, learn your position, but definitely do the best that you can. But I also think it's important to expose your children to a little bit of everything. So, you know, whether my younger son wants to do dance or sing and do football, then I'm going to allow him to do that. So let them try. You know, they may find that they don't like it, and that's okay. my oldest son started out at 6 and 7 playing football and decided he didn't like getting hit. So didn't want to play anymore. But he wouldn't have known that until he tried. But as long as you're doing your best, and that's whether it's sports or business, give it your all, the best effort that you can.
Wonderful, wonderful. Wow. So you've got it all you cover all of the bases, it sounds like.
I don't know about that. I'm trying. Again, I'm not alone, so it's just, for myself, I want the best. For my family, I want the best.
Sure. And you mentioned that team. We talked a little bit about teams. So if it were not for your team, do you think you would be as active as you are?
No. I can even think about, my store with my father when he, first got ill. I was flying back and forth to New Hampshire to take care of him, and not only leaving the clinic, but leaving my store. And if it wasn't for my team, I don't know, where we would be.
Sure.
So I bring that up to them often and, remind them, thank you.
Right.
You have to say thank you because despite my circumstances, life still went on.
Right.
And that's something that I try to tell my therapists or my, community support workers who work for me. We all have situations in life, we all go through things, but, we still got to make things happen.
Right.
Making sure that our responsibilities are taken care of. And if you can't do it, just make sure somebody else can.
Right. Wow. Wonderful. So then, if you were to start all over again, do you think that you would travel down this same path of being so actively engaged and involved in all that you're doing today?
I don't know if I would do it any differently because I feel like I thrive off of being busy. Yeah, it's...
That's the American way today, right? That microwave society?
No, but but still have fun, so that's always in it. So whether that is me going to the spa and being selfish and taking care of me today. And
you have those days?
Oh, yeah.
How often?
Monthly, I go to the spa.
Once a month?
Yes.
Is that enough?
Probably not, but that's all I can fit into my schedule.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's interesting that when I take a vacation and I'm not as active, that's generally when I get sick. I get a cold.
Oh, really?
I can't explain it, but it tends to happen. But as long as I'm doing, I'm okay.
Interesting. So you've conditioned your body to a certain lifestyle.
I think I have. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but, for some reason it's working for me.
Wow. Wow. So how involved are you in the community?
In the community, probably not as much as I would like to be, but we're definitely in the district because the clinic is there.
Okay.
I have I delegate very well because I'm always tied up in a meeting or something that's going on. But we do have a presence in the district working with the youth specifically. But trying to deal with the homeless population as well.
Wonderful.
We have a growing homeless population that we're servicing, yeah.
Really?
And homeless today means sleeping on somebody's couch. It's not yours. You're not on the lease. It's not the mortgage that you're paying. So you're homeless if you're sleeping on somebody's couch and going from home to home.
Wow, that's revelation to me because when I think of homeless, I think of sleeping on the street.
No. That's part of it. That's a big one. That's what society sees.
Right.
Most often the tent set up and everything else, or somebody curled up in the boxes. And,
sleeping on the grates.
Yeah, exactly. But no, you're considered homeless if you're not on that lease and you're going from house to house.
Why is it growing?
That right there is $1 million question. I don't know. I can guess that. We have a lot of people right now in the district that are underemployed or undereducated or don't have the skill set to go out there and do things, so that's the population that I have. So mine is more mental health related, type issues, which kind of makes sense.
So it's bigger than just,
Yeah.
Because that gets a little challenging, in the question because we're at a 4%. I done lost the word. unemployment rate, and for all intents and purposes, the economy is doing decent, is doing well. But I hear all of the time about just this growing population, and I know in the district, at one point they were talking about shutting down DC General, but I think they've recanted that and now are considering to keep it open. Is that right?
That is correct, yes.
That's probably a good thing, right?
Yeah, you got these families, you got these children. That's where, they end up going until they can get off this long list of housing. We fill out the housing vouchers in the application, but there's just nothing available for them, so that's where they end up going.
So then what level of support then does your organization provide?
Well, one of the things that we try to do is make sure that they're on every list possible. We don't have housing available. We're not a housing organization, but we help them get on the application, get that process going, and then if there's opportunity for them to get a job or some employment readiness type situations, we guide them that direction as well, so that maybe if they start making money, they can then afford to get their own place while they're waiting, whether it's low-income housing, instead of waiting on a voucher and have to be stuck into a shelter.
Okay. Now, I generally run, as I mentioned earlier, I'm starting a segment where we're doing a mental health piece here on the show once a month, and I just had a mental health specialist or person on, and she mentioned the dire state of that class in our city in DC. Where does that come from? What is it? Is it drugs? Is it just what exactly is it?
It's a combination. I would say that it's drugs, it's domestic violence, it's just the lack of skill set. For some, it's the mental health issues are getting in the way, so they don't necessarily use the medication that may be prescribed for them, and they use the street drugs instead as a way of coping and dealing with them. It's lack of motivation, it's fear, it's so many different things.
Wow.
It depends on the person, but it is growing, especially for the men. There's a lot of men now that have custody of their children, and they're technically homeless. So where do they go? It's easier for us to place a mother and her children than it is for us to place the father.
Oh, you shouldn't have told me that. Yeah. Why is that?
Where they can't go where the women are. They still have to keep them separate, keep them safe. And you got pedophiles. That story can go on and on and on. It's hard. It's scary. It's frustrating. But we're making some advances, so we're making some improvements along the way.
Right.
So it's great. We celebrate when somebody's voucher comes through. We celebrate when
someone finds a job.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's the end game? What's the end goal for you in terms of this work schedule?
It's funny. People ask me that all the time, and the first thing that comes to mind is just being home and taking care of my family. If I said I'm done today, that would be okay with me, because I would still have my family, and I can be mom. Because me as, Dr. Colvin or business mother, business woman, I've been busy, and there's that level of guilt every once in a while that creeps in. If I had a little bit more time, if I could do, a little bit more. So I would say, be at home.
So then there is more to the work than titles. And the money.
Correct.
You're committed. It sounds to me that you're more committed to the service and the idea of the relationships with, your loved ones. Absolutely. And so on.
And the people that work for me, they're family. The customers that come through my door, they're family. It's about the connection. It's about those relationships. Those are the things that keep me going. I'm not doing therapy per se anymore. And my staff know that they can come into my office and close the door and talk about anything. So there's always a box of tissue because people always end up, crying. So if I can just help one person today, I did my job. And that could be my own family, that could be, somebody that I employ, or even my own customers. So I did okay today.
I got you. So we're going to be taking a break in a couple of minutes here, but to end this segment, what can you give our viewers to assist them in their busy schedules, and when they feel that they can't continue on, but they're striving and they're pushing and they're working so hard? Is there any one thing, or is there anything that you can say that can make them feel a little better about that drive and that willingness to do what they're doing?
Well, I think what's important to know is you're no good to anybody else until you take care of you. So it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say not today, or maybe later, so that you can focus on your own mental health.
Sure.
Take your own mental health day, to take your own spa day, or just relax and just chill and read a book, or have your conversation with God, or hang out with your girlfriends, or whatever it is that you want to do that's going to make you happy and get you out of a suffering state. Then do that, and then making sure that you're connecting, with an individual or a group of people that they can be a sounding board for you. So when it is getting difficult and tough, that you have somebody that you can turn to. They may not have the answers, but at least you're getting it out.
Sure.
And then you may have a clear, idea of which direction you want to go into or what you want to do. Got you. So we're going to end this first segment with that, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back on the other side, we are going to allow Dr. Colvin to dig a little deeper into the business that she has to help you guys and assist you all with your busy schedules. So we'll be back in 2 to 3 minutes. And don't forget, we are encouraging you all to call in. The phone number is 240-719-2560, and we will see you in about 3 minutes. Thank you.
Welcome back, winners. Thank you for tuning in to In the End We Win with Curtis. Our guest tonight is Dr. Chandra Colvin.
Just Chandra Colvin. It's good.
I try to be on point. And we're talking tonight about women in power, women power, and the responsibilities that go along with that. Don't forget that we are encouraging you all to call in. The number is 240-719-2560. However, when you do call, please turn down the device that you are watching the show or listening to the show on and listen strictly to your phone. Listen into the phone because we'll be talking to you live. All right. We don't want that feedback or the silence. So please call in 240-719-2560 and you'll be joining our conversation. So on the first half of the show, prior to the break, we talked a lot about what drives you, the goals that you have for being so busy. And as I mentioned, I've just noticed a shift in our society where women are just taking over. And I get it, and I firmly understand, because I'll say all of the time that my wife is the neck that moves me as the head, that turns me as the head, and I always confer with her on decisions, but she understands, or we have an understanding that I, as the head, will make the final decision, but we talk it out.
So important.
But everyone might not be doing that, and now that these roles are changing, I just wanted to get an idea from someone who's living it and hear it directly from someone such as yourself and who's in our community.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting you say that because, my staff may see me as this strong, independent black woman, but in my house, I'm submissive. And I'm proud to say that. I'm okay with that. I let him be the head. And that's okay. That is a beautiful state to be in. It is not my role to take over, but to be that support, to be that helpmate.
Good.
To listen and be that ear and do whatever I can to sustain, my relationship. And I'm okay with that. That submissive word is not a bad word for me.
Good.
But I know that, some of my
friends,
and, I don't even say
colleagues.
friends, but colleagues and, my staff may laugh at that because, I'm the boss at work, so they don't see that side of me.
Okay. Well, let's talk about another S word.
Okay.
Not snow. Prayerfully, we are done with winter here in the D.C. area. But service.
Yes.
Tell me about your commitment to service.
Everything I do is about being of service. When I was younger, my father said that I would bring home strays. And he didn't mean animals, he meant people. Because I was always trying to help somebody.
Oh, wow.
So I think from a young age, I've just been, my mission has been to be of service, to be able to help somebody, regardless of what it may be, food, clothing, and then, I started out in the nursing field, and now here I am in mental health, and then in my business. Dream Dinners, to me, is just another extension of doing God's work. It's being of service. Helping those families who don't have time to cook, don't want to cook, don't know how to cook.
Okay.
Don't want to do the shopping. So it's another service, but it goes beyond just food.
Okay.
It's about the connection, bringing people back to the dinner table, which we've gotten away from.
Yes.
And building on those relationships that are so important, and let you focus on what's important in your life.
Right. So I'm going to take a step back for a moment and allow you to further delve into Dream Dinners and what it is and where you're located and whatever it is that you would like to, present to our viewership, our audience. And I know that you've got some items here as well as a banner.
Yeah.
And I believe everyone can see it. So I'm going to allow you to just present it to the world because we are a global
Absolutely. Dream Dinners is a franchise that I brought into. And like I said, it's been around for about 15 years. We're throughout the United States. So even if you're not in Silver Spring area, which is where my store is located, probably there is one in your state. Our menu changes on a monthly basis. So our guests can come in and select up to 17, different meals, if not more. And they come once a month. And we take the guesswork out of what's for dinner. I don't know how many times you stood in front of your refrigerator, your freezer, trying to say, what I'm going to cook today. Well, with us, you don't have to worry about that. And in most cases, you're cooking things that you probably would not cook on a regular basis.
Okay.
So we have heart-healthy, family-friendly, kids, things the children would like, and gourmet meals for that special date night. And dinner can be on the table in 30 minutes or less, because like I said, you're putting everything together, you're seasoning it to your taste.
Okay.
And if it's a protein, a meat, it'll marinate in the juices. It can go straight from the freezer to the oven if it's a pan meal, which is going to save you time. A lot of grill items. We're getting ready to get into barbecue season. So we have a lot of different things like that. But it's great. It's delicious. It's quick. You don't have to get a box that's dropped off at your door and still be prepping for an hour, chopping, dicing, and slicing.
You just took a shot at somebody.
I'm just saying. It just makes it easy.
Okay, I'm with you.
Absolutely. But it's definitely good. And again, like I said, it takes the guesswork out of what's for dinner. But for me, what's important is that relationship, that connection. So when my family is sitting down at the table, sometimes we can be silent, and that's when I learn a lot about what's going on, because the kids will get to talking and they'll start acting silly, and I may find out what's going on in school, or who's having a difficult time. But my generation growing up, if we didn't eat together, we definitely did on a Sunday.
Sure.
Because life got busy. Boy, I'm trying to bring everybody back together. So it's funny when I've had my customers share to me that we've helped save their marriage. We've helped them stop having Wednesday meatloaf day, or Taco Tuesday, or some type of fish every Friday, so they get a variety of different meals. You've tried it. You tell me what you think.
It was excellent. Okay. I was thoroughly impressed, as a matter of fact. And I eat kind of weird. Weird for some people. I just don't do the meat. And I am gradually more and more and increasingly growing to a vegan lifestyle. Not that I choose to, but I'm finding that I'm more and more looking for vegan meals, because I've learned that I can be just as satisfied with mushrooms than steak, and so on. But we had the ravioli, I believe it was, manicotti, and then the jambalaya. Thank you.
Without the sausage and the
Without
chicken.
the
But
sausage
you had
and the
shrimp.
chicken. Yes, and I substituted that for shrimp. And I actually, because there are days during the week that I'm home, and it was easy.
How easy was it?
Very easy for me, although I can cook, so I know my way around. But it was very easy to prepare, and we had used at one point Blue Apron, which I kind of relate the two together, where I never prepared those meals. Wanda, my wife, prepared them, and she was actually she spent a lot of time dicing, although they gave us the ingredients.
Right. They did
she
the grocery
had to
shopping for you.
Basically, yes. Yeah. But the prep time was just as long as then the time to actually cook it.
Right.
So yours was excellent. It was pretty much what you said.
It was all laid out for you, so you were able, if you don't like a certain product or an ingredient, you can leave it out.
Right.
So you're not going to get something that you're not going to want to use like you would get in the Blue Apron box. We are not gluten-free. We're not a vegetarian establishment.
Sure.
But we can
Mix
tailor
and
it
match. Right.
you know, to a certain degree. I do not have a lot of customers right now that are asking for the vegan or the vegetarian, and because it's a franchise, there's not a lot of wiggle room, you know, with that. But people can kind of look at the menu and kind of say, hey, is it possible that you can leave the bacon out of this? Would it still be okay, and make that judgment call for themselves and their lifestyle?
So give us a snapshot of what someone would find when they come into your establishment that's on the menu.
Right, okay, goodness. So I don't know if you guys can see this at all, but you can see it? Okay.
Can we zoom in on it?
So we have some delicious lemon cookies right in front that somebody's going to be enjoying.
That somebody's
going to be trying shortly.
I think they're pressing me out to eat these yogurts. And I'm not trying to,
but yeah, our menu changes on a monthly basis. So you can go to www.dreamdinners.com to get a very clear picture of what's on the menu for this month. And May menu is also listed. You said a clear picture. Yeah. So we have everything, like from seafood will always be there. We'll have some steak dishes. One of my favorite on the menu this month is the pesto salmon with cheese crisp. It's really good. The kids are welcome to come to my establishment, so don't feel like the kids have to stay at home. We do have stools for the small ones, but it's, you know, a great time for that bonding with the parents.
Sure.
But in addition, learning kitchen safety, you know, and being able to read and following instructions, because reading is fundamental when you come in. But we make it easy. So you don't have to know what a half a teaspoon is, and you don't have to look at it, because for us, as you know, everything is color coordinated. Right. So the cooking instructions to assemble it is going to be very clear and very simple, just as easy it is for you to cook it at home.
Right. Now, you guys do more than just allow people to come in. Did I understand that you've had wine and sips?
We have what we call a dream taste.
A dream taste.
Yeah, so we do dream taste events. So the host can invite a minimum of 5 friends. The store will be closed specifically for them. And the guests will make 3 meals. Each meal is 3 servings, and it's just for $34.95. And with that, they will get an entree to sample and a dessert. And if there's adults, they can bring in their own adult beverages. I don't have a liquor license, but because it's closed to the public, then they can, you know, go ahead and bring their own. So everything from date night, girls' night out, couples. It's good, right? Yeah, we do the mommy and me, you know, type events. But we also do fundraisers. So if you know someone who has a sporting group that's trying to raise, you know, money for the kids, the sick and shut in, we recently did somebody who was just diagnosed with cancer. Oh, wow. To help them out, we've done things for the MS Foundation. A group of people came in and was able to make meals. So anybody that, you know, nonprofit or group that is looking to raise funds, it'll be similar to the Dream Taste without the alcohol, where they'll make the 3 meals, $34.95, and $10 for each order goes back to that organization. Oh, wonderful. So however they choose to promote it will allow them to make that money that they want to. So it's about a 30% return.
Wonderful. So where are you located exactly?
We are 720 Cloverleaf Street in Silver Spring off of New Hampshire Avenue on the corner of Briggs Cheney and New Hampshire Avenue.
Right. And we're upstairs?
Upstairs. Well, yes. It's considered the first floor, but yeah, it's upstairs. Yeah. Okay. And we're appointment-based business, so we're not 9 to 5, so you do have to go online and make your reservation before you come in. So that way we're prepared for you. We have all the product and the food that you're looking to create and make that day. So
do you guys drop ship?
We have something called the Share Crate, and the Share Crate can go to anywhere in the United States. It's not a regular type monthly subscription that you can give or do, but it's more of you want to give somebody a gift. So if you know someone who's getting married, someone who just passed away, somebody's getting a divorce, whatever that special moment is that you want to give them a gift of love, someone who just bought a house, graduated, you can send them a gift of love with Share Crate. But we do have gift cards, so if anybody wants to do that. We're having a wonderful Mother's Day event that's coming up May 12th at, I believe it's 10:30, but you can go on the website to double check the time for that. But we're encouraging the guests to come in with their mothers or that special woman in their life, whether it's an auntie, a cousin, a friend, a teacher, just somebody that you want to give them a gift of dream dinners. And we'll be doing the same thing. If they come with children, we're going to have the lemonade and the cookies for the kids. If the kids are treating their moms, and probably mimosas for the mothers.
Okay.
So you can sign up now. Space is limited. We're only so big. But May 12th at 10:30, Mother's Day event.
Okay. What else? What else is there about dream dinners? Now, you said there's one generally, and there's one in every state, or?
I believe right now we may be in every state. Now, I'm not sure about Maine, but yeah, we're definitely around. There's 2 in our state.
In Maryland?
There's 1 in Frederick.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But definitely, if you're listening and you're interested, just go to the website. You'll have the list of locations.
Sure.
So find the one that's closest to you. All the owners are great and wonderful. We're all doing the same thing. And again, it's just about being of service. I love to cook, just like yourself. I can cook, very well, but with my busy lifestyle, I want to make sure that my family is eating healthy for the days that I'm not able, to sit down and make that macaroni and cheese and make that cornbread and all that stuff that goes along with it for a long period of time. We can eat and go off to the races, to the next sporting event and everything that may be going on in our life at that moment.
Sure. So what don't you all have there? I know you mentioned the vegan things, and you've got cookies. Do you have cakes? You have desserts? And
we have desserts. We have breakfast items. We have anything hors d'oeuvres. If you're having a party, we have a lot of great things that you can make for brunch. From the scones, a lot of our meals can be repurposed. So even if you make the flank steak, for instance, I know it's not something that you're going to eat, but that could be part of your major meal for that night. If there's leftovers, slice that up and make a salad.
Oh, wow.
So you have a different meal the next day. And the same with, pretty much everything that we have on the menu. We try to repurpose it in a different format.
Right. And I was actually interested to find out that it was a hearty portion.
Yes. Yes.
I actually, we had leftovers.
For the 2 of you.
I was surprised. Yeah. I didn't expect that. I didn't know what to expect.
Sure.
But then when I saw, it was flavorful, which I love. As a matter of fact, I do a lot of Thai and Indian food now. So it was flavorful, and I enjoyed that. I didn't have to add anything, and I try not to use salt anymore. But it was excellent. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
We definitely try to be health conscious, and we've started using a lot of ingredients to lower the sodium content for that reason, so that it's more flavorful than it is salty. And we have 2 serving sizes. So we have a 3-serving or a 6-serving. So depending on how many people you're feeding will be determined about how many, what size meals that you're going to get from your family.
Sure. So can guests make recommendations for the menu?
In August, what we do, probably I think it's going to come out in June, you're going to be able to vote on your favorite meals, all the guests throughout the United States, and the highest winners will be the August menu. So it's the guest favorites, the fan favorites will happen in August. And
that's a good segue into what about around the holidays? Do you guys do turkeys and the hams?
Absolutely. During the holidays, we'll have everything from the turkey to the sides to the green beans, the sweet potatoes, the mashed potatoes, everything that you need, to make your holiday meal painless, and easy and quick and delicious.
Wow.
Roast for Christmas, but the desserts, all that stuff is there. Like for each season, everything is going to change. to go along with the season. In the fall, you'll see a lot more soups and comfort food. Now we're getting into the spring, you'll see a little bit more lighter meals and things that can go on a grill.
That's awesome.
And the wonderful thing about Dream Dinners, for our customers that come on a monthly basis, they travel well. So if you're going on vacation and you're going to a place, an Airbnb has a kitchen, take Dream Dinners with you. That's less money, less time that you're spending out. Yes, you still may want to go out to dinner, but you don't have to do it every single night, because we're not saying eat our meals every day. We're saying 2 to 3 times a week. You don't have to worry about it. So they fly well. We've taken the meals to Florida, to the Bahamas, overseas. They can go into the cooler, into the truck, the car, and arrive wherever you're going, frozen and ready to go.
Wonderful. Okay, so we're just about out of time, and I'm going to allow you to take this last few minutes to just whatever it is that you'd like to mention about what it is that you're doing, maybe your agency, the mental health agency, if there's a word that you'd like to get out about, taking care of themselves, and definitely
we are our agency. We take DC Medicaid. So if there's anybody out there in the DC area that has DC Medicaid and they're feeling like they need some services, they feel like they need an assessment, they can call DC Access Helpline. I wish I had the number memorized, but I don't, but it is definitely on the web. And they can ask for life enhancement services. That's the agency.
That's the name of it, life enhancement services.
That I run. And come in and see what we can do to assist them to live a well-adjusted lifestyle. Dream Dinners, I love to have you guys. This is my happy. This is where I go to de-stress. This is where I go to laugh and kick back with my customers. So when I'm feeling, whatever, I know that I can go into my store and crack a smile, or even get one of my customers to do the same thing. And it's about the communication, it's about the relationship, and it's all centered around food. But food is just the catalyst. It's just the way to bring us all together.
And you guys have an interesting setup there. I noticed you had a little seating area, a little lounge area. Yeah. What is that? Is that Wi-Fi?
We do have Wi-Fi, but it's not free. Okay. We don't share that information. But when we get busy, while you're waiting on a station, you can go have a seat. We have coffee, tea set up, and we always have something for somebody to sample and try. So they can just sit back and look at the menu for the next month and place their reservation, place their order for the next month while they're waiting for that other station to free up, so they can completely make their meals. And it's interesting because you saw the couches. Most times the kids will come with their iPad and they're laying on it while their parents are doing whatever, just kicking back.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I would like to personally say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and coming down and conversating with us and speaking with us, sharing with us, bringing treats, and my sound man, Ron, is going to enjoy the bulk of them tonight. He may not know it, but I appreciate you for coming out, and thanks to Kaito and the family for allowing you to come down. And if there is anything that we can do, if you'd like to come back onto the show, we are definitely open, and we will definitely, actually, you and Wanda had talked about some things that she has in mind to do, like bus trips and girls' day out, and go up and prepare meals for the week and so on. And that sounds like a great idea, as a matter of fact, because we are very busy, and then a lot of her girlfriends are, busy as well. And that'll be a great Saturday event. Everyone can go home and have meals, already made up.
Already done. And don't feel guilty about it, It's like you feel like you're doing something for your family. I appreciate you letting me come on tonight. This has been a great opportunity. Looking forward to, whatever comes next for us.
Cool. Bingo. So we'd like to thank you all for tuning in. This is Curtis from In the End We Win with Curtis, and I, most importantly, appreciate you all for tuning in and making this all possible, because it is because of you that I do what I do. And I just, again, just like to bring positive quality content to you all. I pray that you all will hear something, have heard something tonight, and that you will reach out to our friend Chandra and Dream Dinners up in Silver Spring. Do me a favor, can you give that location one more time?
720 Cloverly Street, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20907.
And Cloverly is?
Cloverly.
Ly. Cloverly.
DreamDinners.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, although I don't know how to use that one. But
Okay. So prayerfully, you guys will reach out and participate or just support her and what she's doing. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about someone who may need some mental health issue or assistance, please give a call to the show. Same number, 240-719-2560. Ask for me, and we will get you connected to Dr. Colvin and her agency. So we want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week. Thank you very much. Good night.